from US Embassy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Upasana. I would now like to invite our next dignitary to also set the context and try and understand what we're going to achieve today. I'd now like to invite Dr. Abhay Sinha, Director General Services Export Promotion Council, for an address, please. And could we have a huge round of applause, please?
To look at US market and how we can develop synergy, create business opportunities for everyone in the services space, in the manufacturing too, because a large portion of manufacturing services is also being exported. When we look at overall India's competence, we are 7th in the service export to the world, and USA also is exporting major services. In fact, as the economy develops,
यूएसए जो है वो हमेशा भारत की पसंद रहा है और जॉब की अपॉर्चुनिटी के लिए बच्चे वहाँ जाते हैं पढ़ने के लिए, लेकिन फिर वो काम भी वहाँ करते हैं। लेकिन आपने जो ये IACC का आज एक बिजनेस लीडरशिप सबमिट किया है, तो इससे क्या लगता है कि हमारे जो यहाँ के ट्रेडर्स हैं, जो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, उनके लिए कुछ इजी रास्ते होंगे वहाँ के लिए?
निश्चित। अभी प्रधानमंत्री जी खुद ही यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स होके आए हैं, 2 देश के एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे आने पर, और यहाँ तो 4 देश एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे क्वाड आया है, तो निश्चय ही इसका लाभ इंडिया को मिलेगा। हमारा देश प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में अब लीडरशिप पोजीशन में आ गया है। बड़े बड़े निर्णय जो पूरे विश्व में हो रहे हैं, उन निर्णयों में इंडिया का भी जो है योगदान अब आ रहा है, और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने ये इंश्योर किया है कि इंडिया के डेवलपमेंट और इंडिया की प्रोग्रेस को हाईलाइट करके हम अपने लिए पूरे विश्व में अच्छा स्थान प्रदान करें। G20 अभी हुआ, उसमें इंडिया की शोकेसिंग हुई है, और किसी न किसी रूप में इंडिया के जो इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट है, और हम जो है अब 5वें स्थान पर आ गए हैं, ये एक बहुत बड़ा जो है अचीवमेंट है। और बहुत जल्दी अगले 2-3 साल में we will be the 3rd largest economy of the world, as the Prime Minister has already enunciated. Obviously, if we are a very strong economic power, we are going to matter, and I am sure that within our lifetime we will see India coming to become the 2nd largest economy of the world.
सर, हम 3rd 2nd की बात क्यों कर रहे हैं, हम 1st की क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, अगर हमने और जोर लगाया, और हमारे देश के हर नागरिक ने जोर लगाया, हमारे देश के हर सिटीजन ने जोर लगाया, हमारे देश के हर किसान ने जोर लगाया, हमारे देश की हर महिला जो उद्यमी है उसने जोर लगाया, हमारे देश के जितने बिजनेस के लोग हैं उन्होंने जोर लगाया, तो वो भी संभव है। लेकिन अभी हमारा लक्ष्य है कि हम 3rd लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी बने, तो ये लक्ष्य को पहले 1 by 1 अगर हम पूरा कराएंगे तो हम आगे बढ़ेंगे।
When he went there for the Quad Summit, and of course, on a personal note, I would like to tell you, my younger brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, they attended the conference or the public function of the Honorable Prime Minister at New York, and you would not believe it that 50,000 capacity stadium or hall was chock full, and people were waiting outside, and the Prime Minister had to say that we in India are of course strongly in the United States, and the next time when I have a function at New York or some of these places, I would ensure a larger space for ourselves. So this only shows the way the Indian diaspora in the United States has made a place for itself. We as Indians in the United States are one of those who are doing one of the best in the country. I have colleagues of mine from IIT Kanpur who are doing very well. One of them is Mr. Arvind Krishna, who is the chairman of IBM, and I have been in discussion with him. So obviously I feel very happy to be here today on this platform of the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, and I wish this entire conference and wish all the deliberations here positive, in the sense that they will take India forward, they will take United States forward, and obviously India cannot be thought of without Uttar Pradesh. So under the leadership of Yogi Adityanath ji, that is one important aspect on which I am going to throw some light here today. You all know that Yogi ji became the Chief Minister in about 2017, and in the last 7.5 years, a sort of freedom movement has swept through Uttar Pradesh because Uttar Pradesh was shackled. It had been held back by so many chains, so many negativities for the state. We were called a Bimaru state. We were called a state which had no law and order. And it is under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister that very first thing he resolved was the rule of law and zero tolerance to crime and criminality. World over, if there is one challenge which is being faced by the most important democracies, is the establishment of rule of law. Whether it be the large democracies of the West, whether it be democracies across the Asian continent, whether it be democracies in Europe, it is the rule of law which is now the prime concern for all state heads, and it is here that the Chief Minister ensured that we will establish the rule of law, and you would now continue to see that we in the state of Uttar Pradesh continue to work very hard. I have been part of this entire team for the state of Uttar Pradesh as the Home Secretary and the longest standing Home Secretary. We in Uttar Pradesh have the largest police force of the world, and we have about 4.5 to 5 lakh personnel within the state of Uttar Pradesh. And if I would like to state, if you want to set the tone for rule of law, if you want to ensure zero tolerance to crime and criminality, there are 5 aspects which are very important. First, you have to ensure that you have proper personnel, police personnel in the state with a very strong representation with women. We in Uttar Pradesh had very few women within our police force, and in the last few selection processes that we have had, we have ensured that our level of women within the police force is now with a participation of more than 20%, and you have very recently seen that more than 70,000 police personnel have been recruited in our state. Recruitment is a major challenge for anywhere and every state in the country, and it is this that we ensured very strongly. So one, increase the strength of the police force. 2, modernize the police force with technology. We in Uttar Pradesh have used advanced technologies in cyber security, which is a major challenge in monitoring of there. We are now spending 5,000 crores in infrastructure alone for the police force. Now this is the level of movement within our state for infrastructure. The next aspect is about women and women's safety. Today, if a woman in a village of Sitapur, which is one of our districts, wants to move to the city and work late till evening or night at around 10 o'clock, if she comes back from the city to the rural area, she is free to go, and it is this security for women which has ensured the popularity for the state as well as for the Chief Minister himself. So there are any number of aspects on which a lot of work has been done for setting the tone in any state for development. The very first thing is to ensure that the state has a proper rule of law, and it is this which Yogi Ji has ensured in his first term. As far as the Bimaru tag is concerned, you all know that we had a large number of people living below the poverty line. It is the state of Uttar Pradesh which, under the guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister, who represents Uttar Pradesh through Varanasi as his own constituency, this I would say this divine coincidence of getting the Honorable Prime Minister as being the MP of Uttar Pradesh, the Defence Minister from being from Uttar Pradesh, very strong personalities being from Uttar